Welcome back to Cool English, the place where we help you sound more natural, more confident, and more like a native speaker. Today, we're talking about one tiny word that's overused by almost every English learner, and even some native speakers, the word very. Sure, very isn't wrong. But if you want to sound advanced, you need better tools in your vocabulary toolbox. Let's replace very plus adjective with single powerful words. Section 1, Basic to Advanced. Let's start simple. Instead of saying very tired, try saying exhausted. Example, I was exhausted after running the marathon. Sounds stronger, right? Instead of very hungry, say starving. Example, we skipped breakfast and by lunchtime we were starving. Instead of very big, say enormous. Example, they live in an enormous house near the beach. And instead of very small, say tiny. Example, my apartment is tiny, but it's cozy. Section 2, Emotional Impact. When we talk about feelings, strong words make your sentences more vivid. Very happy becomes delighted. Example, she was delighted with her exam results. Very sad becomes heartbroken. Example, he was heartbroken after his dog passed away. Very angry becomes furious. Example, the customer was furious about the delay. Very afraid becomes terrified. Example, I was terrified during the storm. Section 3, Everyday Conversation Upgrade. Even in casual talk, you can sound sharper. Instead of very clean, say spotless. Example, the hotel room was spotless. Instead of very dirty, say filthy. Example, his shoes were filthy after hiking. Instead of very easy, say effortless. Example, she made the presentation look effortless. Instead of very difficult, say challenging. Example, climbing that mountain was challenging. Section 4, Why this matters. Here's the secret. When you swap very for a stronger word, your English sounds richer and more precise. Native speakers love words that paint a picture. Saying freezing makes me feel the cold. Saying scorching makes me feel the heat. Language becomes an experience, not just information. Next time you're tempted to say very tired or very happy, challenge yourself. Replace it with one powerful word. Your English will instantly sound more advanced. Next, we're going to take those words and put them into mini stories, so you can hear them in action. After each story, I'll break down the vocabulary so you can use it yourself. Story 1, The Long Hike.
Last weekend, my friends and I went hiking in the mountains. The trail was long and steep, and by the time we reached the top, I was exhausted. But the view was spectacular, mountains stretching as far as the eye could see. We took photos, ate snacks, and started our way back before sunset.
Explanation. Exhausted means extremely tired, so tired that you have almost no energy left. Spectacular means extremely impressive or beautiful, like a scene that takes your breath away. Story 2, The Restaurant Disaster.
Yesterday, I went to a new restaurant in town. The service was slow, and when my food finally arrived, it was cold. The waiter didn't apologize, and I became furious. I left without finishing my meal, and I don't think I'll be going back.
Explanation. Furious means extremely angry, much stronger than just mad. It suggests you're really upset, maybe even shaking with anger. Story 3, The Surprise Party.
2 weeks ago, it was my birthday, and my friends threw me a surprise party. I walked into the room and everyone shouted, "Happy birthday!" I was delighted. We had cake, music, and danced until midnight.
Explanation. Delighted means extremely happy, often used when something wonderful or unexpected happens. Story 4. The Winter Morning.
This morning, I woke up and realized the heating wasn't working. The windows were covered in frost, and the air inside felt freezing. I put on 2 sweaters and made myself a hot cup of tea.
Explanation. Freezing means extremely cold, so cold that you can feel it deep in your body. Story 5. The Clean Apartment.
My cousin is coming to visit tomorrow, so I spent the whole afternoon cleaning. Now my apartment is spotless. Every surface shines and it smells fresh.
Explanation. Spotless means extremely clean. So clean that there's not a single bit of dirt or mess. See how these stronger words make the story more interesting? Instead of saying very tired, very angry, or very cold, we use exhausted, furious, and freezing. They give your sentences more life and make your English sound more natural. Next, we're going to listen to the same story twice. The first version will use basic English with very plus adjective. The second version will upgrade those phrases to advanced. Natural vocabulary. Your job is to notice how the feeling changes. Version 1. Basic English with very plus adjective. Last summer, I went on a trip to the mountains. The weather was very cold, but the sky was very clear, and the view was very beautiful. I stayed in a very small cabin that felt very cozy inside. One morning, I went for a hike. The trail was very steep, and I felt very tired. But when I reached the top, I saw a very amazing sunrise. The colors were very bright, and the air felt very fresh. That trip was very special to me, and I will always remember it. Version 2, Advanced English. No very plus adjective. Last summer, I went on a trip to the mountains. The weather was freezing, but the sky was crystal clear, and the view was stunning. I stayed in a tiny cabin that felt snug inside. One morning, I went for a hike. The trail was steep, and I felt exhausted. But when I reached the top, I saw a breathtaking sunrise. The colors were vivid, and the air felt refreshing. That trip was unforgettable to me, and I will always remember it. Explanation of changes. Very cold, freezing, stronger, and more vivid. Very clear, crystal clear, common descriptive phrase. Very beautiful, stunning, shows deep admiration. Very small, tiny, short, strong word. Very cozy, snug, compact, and comfortable. Very tired, exhausted, extreme fatigue. Very amazing, breathtaking, takes your breath away. Very bright, vivid, rich and intense color. Very fresh, refreshing, pleasant and energizing. Very special, unforgettable, leaves a lasting memory. Story 2, At the Beach. Basic version with very plus adjective. Last weekend, I went to the beach with my friends. The sand was very hot and the water was very cool. We found a very nice spot under a palm tree. The waves were very big and the wind was very strong. At sunset, the sky turned very red and the view was very beautiful. It was a very fun day and I can't wait to go again. Advanced version without very plus adjective. Last weekend, I went to the beach with my friends. The sand was scorching and the water was chilly. We found a lovely spot under a palm tree. The waves were huge and the wind was powerful. At sunset, the sky turned crimson and the view was gorgeous. It was a delightful day and I can't wait to go again. Key changes. Very hot, scorching. Very cool, chilly. Very nice, lovely. Very big, huge. very strong, powerful. Very red, crimson. Very beautiful, gorgeous. Very fun, delightful. Story 3, a busy city. Basic version. I visited New York City last year. The streets were very crowded and the traffic was very noisy. I stayed in a very tall hotel with a very nice view. The food was very tasty and the people were very friendly. At night, Times Square was very bright and the atmosphere was very exciting. Advanced version. I visited New York City last year. The streets were packed and the traffic was deafening. I stayed in a towering hotel with a pleasant view. The food was delicious and the people were welcoming. At night, Times Square was brilliantly lit and the atmosphere was thrilling. Key changes. Very crowded, packed. Very noisy, deafening. Very tall, towering. Very nice, pleasant. Very tasty, delicious. Very friendly, welcoming. Very bright, brilliantly lit. Very exciting and thrilling. Story 4, Winter Morning. Basic version. One winter morning, I woke up to a very cold room. The window was covered with very thin ice. I put on a very thick sweater and made myself a very hot cup of coffee. Outside, the street was very quiet, and the snow looked very white. It was a very peaceful start to the day. Advanced version. One winter morning, I woke up to a freezing room. The window was covered with a delicate layer of ice. I put on a heavy sweater and made myself a steaming cup of coffee. Outside, the street was silent, and the snow looked pure white. It was a serene start to the day. Key changes. Very cold, freezing. Very thin, delicate. Very thick, heavy. Very hot, steaming. Very quiet, silent. Very white, pure white. Very peaceful, serene.